One of Donald Trump's staunchest supporters during his time in office was William Barr. Remember him? He was the Attorney General and less friendly Jabba the Hutt. But what's interesting is that now that Trump is out of office and Barr has a book to sell, well, he's suddenly not a fan. No, he's singing a different tune.
Former Attorney General William Barr speaking out live for the first time about his volatile time in the Trump administration and his dismantling of the president's lies about the 2020 election.
I told him that all this stuff was bullshit and about election fraud. And, it was wrong to be shoveling it out the way his team was. He was obviously getting very angry about this. I said, okay, well, look, I understand you're upset with me, and I'm perfectly happy to tender my resignation. And then, boom!
He slaps the desk.
He slapped the desk, and he said, accepted. Accept it. Don't go back to your office. Go home. You're done. After the election, he went off the rails. He wouldn't listen to anybody except a little coterie of sycophants who were telling him what he wanted to hear.
I'm sorry, did Bill Barr say that after the election, Trump went off the rails? That's what he said. After the election? So before the election, when he was trying to nuke hurricanes and inject bleach, that was on the rails? That was normal? You know, it feels like Trump fans are a lot like Euphoria fans. You know, they act like the thing got more extreme over time, but really it was like that from the beginning. Yeah, they just hit their limits. Oh, there's so much nudity in Euphoria these days. My man, it's HBO. Everything has nudity. Everything. Euphoria, Game of Thrones. I mean, that's why I stopped watching John Oliver. Every episode. And now my dick. You didn't have to show me a dick, John. That didn't help me understand the opioid crisis. And here's what all of Trump's acolytes don't understand. He didn't become crazy. He didn't become that. No, you just realized he was crazy when he started disagreeing with you. Like kamikaze pilots are not sane when they're taking off. You're just agreeing with that part of the flight. Yeah. So what time do we land? What? But the point is that just like John Kelly, John Bolton, Michael Cohen, Omarosa, remember her? Bill Barr has now come out and said, actually, guys, Donald Trump is crazy and was not fit to be president. Yeah. But before you get all excited and welcome Bill Barr into the resistance, you should probably hear his plans for the next election.
I certainly have made it clear I don't think he should be our nominee, and I'm going to, support somebody else for the nomination.
But if he is the nominee and you have your choices, Donald Trump or whoever's running on the Democratic side, would you vote for him?
Because I believe that the greatest threat to the country is the progressive agenda being pushed by the Democratic Party. It's inconceivable to me that I wouldn't vote for the Republican nominee.
So even if he lied about the election and threatened democracy, as you write in your book, it's better than a Democrat.
It's hard to project what the facts are going to turn out to be 3 years hence, but as of now, it's hard for me to conceive that I wouldn't vote for the Republican nominee.
Yo, man, these people are wild. William Barr literally agrees that Trump tried to overthrow the election, but still, he would vote for Trump over a Democrat. Yeah, I mean, maybe Trump's gonna end America and put me in a prison camp, but it's better than learning new pronouns. Am I right? It's actually sad how in America politics has turned into sports, right? Because this is like a sports attitude, right? Where people have like this blind level of support. You know, you support the Knicks? Yeah, I support the Knicks. But what if they start doing synchronized swimming, not basketball? I hate that, but I'm still going to support them, man. I'm a Knicks fan at heart, Doesn't matter what they do on the court, swimming, dancing. I'm a Knicks fan. I don't want to get a new jersey, it's a whole new color. Now I got to learn new things. I'm a Knicks fan. It's not that. It's not sports. It's politics,
It seems like he wrote the book about the wrong thing. He says what I'm most passionate about is fighting the progressive agenda. Well, write a book about that. I mean, your writing teacher says to you, write about what you're passionate about, not write what you're second most passionate about. That's what seems to have happened here.
They're all heroes when they leave. I told
easy.
him, no, you didn't. You were there, and then at some point you're like, all right, this guy's crazier than I thought.
And they're also all heroes when they got to push their book.
Dude, it's always the book.
The book.
Yeah. This is what I found.
Do you mind
all
if
these people were there.
If I just push my book real quick?
Oh,
I don't have a book, but
if
I was
you did,
practicing. I was practicing.
No, you did very well, actually.
Thank you.
Yes. My time at the Daily Show. Why I hated Trevor Noah.
How I resigned on air.
I used to tell him on that show, ooh, let's move on. I used to tell him. All right, let's move on to some news about Andrew Cuomo, the disgraced governor of New York, who was never a guest on The Daily Show. If you see pictures of that, it's a lie. Cuomo, you might remember, was at the center of a whole bunch of scandals. There was his history of sexual harassment, his shady handling of the early COVID pandemic, and he abused the power of his office by making people watch all those PowerPoint presentations. But now, just 7 months after being forced to resign, Andrew Cuomo has decided that he's served enough time.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo's first public appearance since leaving office has some wondering if he's considering a political comeback. Cuomo spoke Sunday at God's Battalion of Prayers Church in Brooklyn. During his remarks, the former governor repeatedly took aim at cancel culture, which Cuomo says forced him out of office.
Don't underestimate the strength and the virulence of the cancel culture. They broke my heart, but they didn't break my spirit. I want to take the energy that could make me bitter and use that energy to make us better.
Okay. First of all, pretty slick move delivering that speech in church. Yeah, because people have to forgive you, even if they don't want to. Yeah, Jesus says so. And secondly, let's agree on something, people. Let's agree on this. Please, can we agree on this once and for all? Getting canceled is not the same thing as getting investigated for sexual harassment. All right? Canceled is when people yell at you on Twitter for like a joke. When you're getting canceled, you can put your phone on airplane mode and keep it moving. That's not what happened to Andrew Cuomo, right? That wasn't the woke police. That was the police. There's a big difference. Oh, I was canceled. No, my man, this is a crime. Everyone just uses that. I was canceled. What were you doing? I kidnapped some people. Cancel culture's out of control. It feels like these days people can blame literally anything on cancel culture. Mommy, why is the fish upside down in the bowl? Oh, cancel culture, Timmy. Yeah, that fish is gone now. So sorry about it. I guess in many ways this comeback effort is classic Andrew Cuomo, though. You know, nobody asked him to come back, but he's gonna make a move anyway. Yeah, people are like, we don't want you back, Governor. He's like, it's fine, I'm Italian. Let's kiss on the mouth. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
I don't think he's running. I think since he lost his job and since his brother lost his job, I think they're living together on the bunk beds and he just wants to get out of the house. Didn't it kind of feel like he was just happy to get out?
It does seem like that.
Yeah. He's blaming cancel culture for everything the way that I use supply chain. That's my, hey, I called you 10 times, you didn't call me back. I did call you back. It must be a supply chain issue. My wife was like, I love you. You don't say it enough. I said, look, that's a supply chain question. I don't know if I can just, so.
You know what's funny is we don't understand the supply chain enough to know how to argue back against. That's actually a brilliant thing.
Any problems, supply chain.
Supply chain.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that next time the landlord comes. Trevor, you haven't paid this supply chain.
I was in the elevator, someone said, can you hit number 12? And I'm like, yo, supply chain. I can't do that.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Wait. I asked you about my birthday present and you said supply chain. Was that the same thing?
It's been, look, supply chain's been a problem for a lot of time.
All right, finally. Do you guys remember that Canadian trucker protest that shut down the border and forced you to learn the capital of Canada a few weeks ago? Yeah, you probably remember it, where the truckers blocked the streets for weeks to show their outrage over COVID vaccine mandates and other Canadian government tyranny, like free healthcare and education. Anyway, some Americans saw what happened in Canada and they said, hey, we have trucks too. Why not do that here? But sadly, the result has been less impressive.
A caravan of pro-Trump, anti-vaccine truckers, modeled after the Canadian Freedom Convoy, has reached the nation's capital. The People's Convoy traveled across the country to reach Washington, D.C., starting in California last month. The caravan planned to circle the Capitol several times and then return to their home base in Maryland. But a number of them were frustrated by the traffic on the Beltway, of course surrounding Washington, D.C., and did not complete the laps they had hoped.
The protest slowed down traffic a little, but the truckers did not know that the Beltway is like that all the time. So the protest ended up having a far smaller impact than the Canadian protest that inspired it in our states.
Aw, man, this is just sad. American truckers were trying to block traffic, but D.C. already has so much traffic that nobody really noticed they were protesting. And I mean, let's be honest. A protest isn't much good if it's too subtle for people to know it's a protest. Yeah, it's like if Rosa Parks bravely decided to sit in the middle of the bus, it just wouldn't be the same. Yeah, the bus driver would be at the front like, is that black woman sitting? Whatever. Also, I bet when these truckers planned the driving protest, they didn't think that gas was going to hit $5 a gallon. Yeah, that's a horrible time to be driving as your protest, because now they're praying the cops tow them away just to save on gas. Do you see what I'm doing? What, you want to tow me back home? Please, man, I need you to tow me back home. I didn't plan this part.